Well, hello, and it's another Monday update for the Mpls Ski Jumping Club. Today is Monday, February 24th, and just a quick recap on how things went over the weekend around the division. We did have two kind of big things going on. In Coleraine, Minnesota, they were hosting the Central Division Championships, where they did look like, I heard nothing but positive things. It sounded like conditions were great. I looked at the pictures, it looked like there was a ton of people there, and seems like a lot of people had some fun. So hopefully somebody from the club did make their way up there and check that out. Myself, as well as a number of other Minneapolis Ski Club members, traveled up to Iron Mountain, Michigan, where we helped them pull off a phenomenal spectator event. The World Cup B, it's called a Continental Cup. It's like the World Cup. In fact, we had a lot of World Cup jumpers in the field, but we host a World Cup B in front of thousands of spectators. I mean, there was so many people at the event that they got max capacity, and they ended up turning away about 100 cars full of people at some point. The sheriff shut them down. There was so many people on site that it was pretty wild. So great show there, and honestly, the sport is growing in some of the spectator fashion. So pretty excited about what we were able to pull off there. The hill conditions were great. The feedback, the weather, all that kind of stuff. It was just a really good vibe. And so anybody who made it up there, hopefully you checked it out and thought that was pretty special too. Weather for the week. It's funny how exactly 7 days ago, I think my expression was that the weather is brutal, and how the Minnesota weather gods. I also say the week weather forecast looks pretty brutal, but instead of last week, brutal meant super mega cold. This is so warm that it will likely prohibit some ski jumping. We'll just check it out. So jumping is totally touch and go all week. So I would say stay tuned to Snapchat, or excuse me, Team Snap chat function for updates on if we're going to be able to jump our regularly scheduled hours or how things are looking. It will be too warm for me to get the cat on the landing hills and the outruns. That's just a given. I just got back from the ski jumps. I walked the whole site, and honestly, the small hills are looking good. I mean, they've got some rounded edges and whatnot, but honestly, they look pretty decent. We'll just see how the next couple days go if it just gets too bad. Anyways, it's too warm for me to get the piston bully out on those landing hill and outruns, but probably with some rakes and a little bit of elbow grease, we could jump. We'll just have to play that by ear. That being said, the large hill is done for the season. It's got boards showing through the snow, and honestly, it's being this late in the year, it is highly unlikely that it makes any sense to get that in-run up and running. So at this point, the large hill will likely be done for the rest of the seasons. But yes, the small hills, the conditions are great. They're still very much skiable, but it'll just be day to day. It might take a little bit of elbow grease each day, but hopefully we can do it. The large hill is done. So that being said, if we can stay open, we will try and run normal hours this week on the small hills. The large hill will be done, but large hill skiers, please stay tuned, as we do need to close down that jump. We need to take down the batter boards and put down the winch and a few odds and ends, as you know, we have to do at the end of every season. But that being said, for the small hills, I'd also be interested in entertaining the idea that maybe we actually pull the snow off the in-runs. If the tracks get too bad, that maybe we pull the snow off and we try skiing from steel to snow. There are a lot of clubs across the world, even in the in the Midwest here, that what they do is they actually pull the snow. They don't put snow on the tracks, the in-run part, and they just ski it from the steel down to snow. And so if we did want to extend the season, that's something it certainly might be worth entertaining to salvage another couple weeks of skiing here. That being said, I mean, the jumps do face north. They've got good thermal mass because they're on the hill, and they really does retain snow quite nice. So I am optimistic that we will have a few more sessions left in us in this season here. Also wanted to get it on your calendar that next Wednesday, I'd like to do a kind of a tournament recap meeting and kind of just hear from from everyone, the good, the bad, and the ugly, about how things went, get some feedback, and make sure that we grow and improve from there. But it really, really easily was on effectively every metric the best event that we've ever hosted. As anything else, we can always make improvements, but I'd like to get others' feedback and see if anybody wants to get more engaged. It's good to catch it now while it's still in close enough in people's memory banks to get their opinions felt or known. And you may have seen Audrey sent out it's a survey. So it's just a survey that you can fill out, and if you've got some feedback to share, I can take that. Even if you can't make the meeting, it's nice to have some of that in advance. And then as for upcoming weekend competitions or any travel, really last weekend was the last of the 2024-2025 Midwestern schedule for tournaments throughout the Midwest here, the Central Division. But yeah, so no more weekend competitions to travel to. However, I did talk to Davey over at St. Paul, and he said that they are going to attempt to do something this Friday, even if it's just a slush event on their 10-meter. They are planning on doing something at the ski club over there at St. Paul, so I encourage you all to make it over there for that. That should be a lot of fun. And I did want to celebrate the fact that we do have two jumpers that regularly jump on our 70-meter that are going to be representing the Central Division at U.S. Junior National Championships. That is going on this week. They're going to be traveling today and tomorrow out to Park City, Utah, and representing the Central Division. And jumpers that jump with us on a regular basis, we've got Cormac Hoffman Guy, and as well as we've got Jacob Larson. And we really wish them the best. Super stoked about how it's going to turn out for them, and I'll certainly be posting results next week once they come in. But we wish them the best. But yeah, that's the plan for this week. It's really a touch and go for this week. Just stay tuned to the chat function on your apps, and we'll see if we can jump, or assuming we can, what days we can. But let's presume that hopefully we're going to be pulling off. And then yes, please mark your calendars for Wednesday for next week, and if you've got some time to fill out that survey about how things went at the tournament, I'd really appreciate it in advance. Anyways, that's the update for today, Monday, February 24th, 2025, and we're going to keep it going. We'll catch up with you guys soon. Thank you.